It's the go-home Smackdown for the Royal Rumble. We're one step away from officially being on the road to WrestleMania, so it's time to set new feuds in motion, plot the course for the next few months, and of course, it helps if the show feels big. Does it succeed? Well, these are my assorted thoughts on the January 31st, 2025 WWE Smackdown. Welcome to Silo Voice Wrestling on YouTube and the Silo Voice Wrestling podcast, wherever you get your podcasts. From Silo Voice Studios in Montreal, I'm Jason C. McLean. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and ring that bell for notifications to get all my wrestling hot takes, cold takes, simmering takes, wrestling opinion pieces, WWE Premium Live Event, prediction and review videos, and assorted thoughts on Raw and, of course, SmackDown. I'm recording this February the 1st, Saturday. It's around 2 p.m., so it's like 4 hours before the start of the Royal Rumble. And last week on Assorted Thoughts on SmackDown, I noted that I was really glad Damian Priest was on SmackDown, but I was pretty sure Carmelo Hayes wasn't going to be his feud, and hopefully soon he would get into a new feud. And I was trying to think about some of the prospects of some of the people who could be involved with Priest in feuds on camera, and the one name I didn't come up with was Jacob Fatu. But when Fatu interrupted Priest this week, by the way, Priest is going to be in the Royal Rumble. Gee, I could have seen that one coming. But when he and Tama Tonga interrupted Priest, I thought, yes, this is interesting. I didn't think this was going to happen, but I'm very excited to see where this could go. Initially, it led to some physicality and LA Knight coming out, and that eventually led to a match between Damian Priest and LA Knight and Jacob Fatu and Tama Tonga. The match was good. It definitely deserved its main event status. And it ended, of course, with, not of course, but it ended with Damian Priest beating Tama Tonga. So that let the Priest-Fatu feud, which is really getting going, still have room to breathe, room to expand. I'm pretty sure we're going to see more of the two of them going at it in the Royal Rumble. And maybe we're going to see Tama Tonga and LA Knight going at it. Not entirely sure. I don't see this whole tag team of Damian Priest and LA Knight lasting much beyond this evening, but I definitely see Fatu and Tonga together. So Fatu and Priest as a feud. Wow. From what I saw in this match and what I saw earlier in the night, this has me excited. I think this could be really good, and I think this is a really good choice for where to make both of these characters go in the next little while. When I saw the two championship belts suspended really low within grabbing distance, and then I saw Kevin Owens coming out, I kind of knew where this was headed. Kevin Owens, of course, decided to take the belt. I guess they just want him holding the belt, walking around with it around the Royal Rumble for at least another day, maybe get some fun things on camera before he puts it back up. I don't think he's going to actually walk into the match with it. I think they're going to have to take it back and hang it up because it's got to be suspended over the ring, right? We don't want to just have him lose the match and still hold on to that belt, or maybe we do. And of course, he was perfectly in character in the interview with Joe Tessitore. I didn't expect CM Punk to come out, but of course he did. This made all the sense in the world. Of course, Punk would hedge his bets. Is he going to be, if Kevin Owens wins at the Rumble, obviously Punk's going to go after Kevin Owens, and he wants to let him know that. But of course, sort of behind the scenes, it's well known that in reality, CM Punk and Kevin Owens don't like each other, and that was very apparent in this promo. Not like a worked shoot like Drew McIntyre or even Seth Rollins. You can see that Kevin Owens really didn't want to be working with CM Punk in this moment, and Punk wasn't too thrilled to be working with KO, but they still got some lines in. That line about one of us didn't, or the one of there's one person here who didn't lose to Logan Paul, or something I've never done is lose to Logan Paul. That was the most stinging line in the world. And I was almost thinking Logan Paul was going to come out. Fortunately, he didn't. This was a good segment just to let everyone know that, maybe KO is going to win. We know that everyone thinks Punk's going to win the Rumble and go for the undisputed WWE championship. But this is letting people know that, no, Cody's not definitely going to win because he might just fight Kevin Owens. But I still think Cody's going to win. Naomi picked up a victory over Liv Morgan. But of course, the match ended with Raquel Rodriguez slamming Morgan onto Bianca Belair and Naomi after attacking both of them, leading me to believe that this feud is definitely continuing. And I think I was right in my prediction, or my brother was right in his prediction, which I kind of adopted as my own, that we're going for Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez fighting and possibly winning the tag team championships off Bianca Belair and Naomi. Now, either they do it before WrestleMania and they go into WrestleMania for it, leaving Bianca maybe to have a falling out with one of her two partners, to have a fight with them at WrestleMania, or we stretch it to WrestleMania. I think they should stretch it to WrestleMania because I think that would be a good feud that would put over the women's tag team championships even more, especially if they're a real prize between two sets of top stars. We had Tiffany Stratton interviewed in the ring by Michael Cole and Pat McAfee. Again, this show felt big. We had the two sets of announcers. We had, it seems to be the A-team from Raw, doing the sort of like the what they call it, the Okerlund position now, and doing stuff in the ring. And of course, they interviewed the top women's star of the show in the ring. And they were going through her potential Royal Rumble opponents. And I kept thinking, like, just say Charlotte Flair. Just say Charlotte Flair, because the crowd was reacting differently to each of them. And if they had said Flair as the winner of the Royal Rumble to fight Tiffany, I think the crowd would have exploded, because I think that's what everyone wants to have happen. The interview stopped when Candice LeRae came down, and then Candice and Nia Jax attacked Tiffany Stratton. Now, I think it's really good that this is what happened. Not that they're going to continue the Nia-Tiffany feud or the Candice-Tiffany feud that much longer. Maybe they will, maybe just a little bit past the Rumble. But these are two clear heels. This establishes that Tiffany Stratton is turning into a babyface, I think, especially if she's going to fight Charlotte Flair, who would be a heel. This is making Tiffany a babyface by having two really hated heels attack her. And I like this development. And I also like this segment and the placement of it and the prominence they're giving to the new, very over, hopefully soon to be officially over as a babyface, Tiffany Stratton. I predicted Motor City Machine Guns were going to win at the Royal Rumble, but the fact that they won here despite their partners Las Garza leaving doesn't bode well historically. Usually if you win the big one on the Smackdown before, you lose it on the next night. Anyway, what I liked about this match is it resulted in Pretty Deadly potentially turning on DIY. And I think a babyface Pretty Deadly run would be excellent. This match was good. Las Garza left, so I think they're going to stay heels. And I still predict MCMG is going to beat a DIY, but I think we might be in for a babyface Pretty Deadly. We'll see tomorrow. Well, actually, no. We'll see next week. Andrade beat The Miz, which is exactly what you'd expect. Was it a total bang? It was a good match. It was an enjoyable match. Two really solid workers. Of course, it kind of felt like they were filling time on a 3-hour show. But still, welcome to SmackDown, Miz. And hopefully, maybe they'll continue this and make it a bit of a feud. Good to see Andrade getting some screen time. Mello missed again, despite putting on a really good show. But it gives some fire to Jimmy Uso, maybe heading into the Royal Rumble. And Chelsea Green actually lost to Michin by disqualification, so she keeps the championship. I don't know what this means for the future of the feud. I kind of think it means it's going to continue, and I really wanted other opponents. Maybe some of that will develop in the Royal Rumble. Still, it was a good match to watch, and I still love Piper Niven's Secret Service gimmick. And these were my assorted thoughts on the January 31st, 2025 WWE Smackdown, the go-home Smackdown for the Royal Rumble. What did you think of my takes? Let me know in the comments. Follow at Silo Voice Wrestling on Facebook and Instagram, at Silo Wrestling on X, and me at Jason C. McLean on X and Instagram. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and ring that bell for notifications. I'll be back with my review of the Royal Rumble and assorted thoughts on Monday's Raw. For Silo Voice Studios in Montreal, I'm Jason C. McLean.